I had a rude awakening when I was told by the gurus and experts that I should do the following. Number one, to train hard. Number two, to get into better physical condition. Number three, with time, things will work themselves out automatically. At the time, I was training 7 days a week. I was in the best shape of my life. And with time, things didn't work themselves out. So here I was, still going through my problems and frustrations with no solutions. So I got mad at these BS gurus and decided to dedicate the rest of my life to develop some kind of system which would help me eliminate similar problems and frustrations which I was going through in my sport. In the next 16 years, I read all the information that was available, researched everything, took systems apart, put them back together to see if I could find the key secrets or information that would lead me to achieving peak performance in my sport. At first, I looked at how athletes trained from the beginning through elite levels and found key areas that caused all major problems or some major problems in sports. Through my research, I found out that 100% of the athletes wanted to achieve peak performance and to perform their sport on a consistent level. So my next step was to find out what key ingredients enable athletes to achieve peak performance and how they could perform their sport on a consistent level. So I found out it's not doing one major thing that enables athletes to achieve their best performance. It's a group of things that are done automatically that will enable them to achieve higher levels. See, the old ways and attitudes of athletes are to train hard, get in great shape, train their speed and power, and all this stuff will enable them to excel. But when you see athletes that train this way, they will tell you things like, oh, I hope I can peak at the right time. Or they might say, I hope that I can perform or do well in a certain competition or tournament. If they feel good on a competition day, they think they'll perform well. If they feel bad on competition day, then chances are they'll perform badly. There is nothing wrong with the above ways of training and thinking if you want to live on hope. Think about it. Athletes train their techniques, their movements for thousands of times and do all the right things while following all the instructions to finally come out on the other end with hope that they'll perform in competition, perform well. Hope isn't a place where you want to be because you deserve better for all your hard work. So, what is the answer to the above scenario? After 16 years of research, we've discovered the 9 secrets that enables athletes to not only achieve peak performance, but enable them to practice and perform their sport in the most consistent level possible. Will these 9 secrets make you a world champion in your sport? Well, the answer is yes and no. Yes, if you have the ability and talents to get you to that level. And no, because your peak performance may only be for you to achieve a certain level. The biggest frustrations athletes were saying is they wanted to be able to perform at their very best level, for each individual. That's what they want, to do their best. If an athlete's peak performance is at 75% level and he or she performs at 30% level, they'll be frustrated with those results because they know they're better than that. The same thing happens to elite athletes. If they can, usually perform between 95 to 100% level, and for whatever reason, they might only be able to achieve 50 to 60% level in competition. Both groups, elite and the rest of the athletes, all go through these frustrations and problems. They just don't know how to fix them. And there is nobody that can advise them because the top experts and gurus don't know themselves. So, back to the 9 secrets of peak performance and achieving a consistent level. I will explain each of these secrets and tell you the who, what, when, where, and why. of each one, so that you understand how important each one is, and how it affects everything in your sport. The 9 secrets are timing, speed, rhythm, reflex, body mechanics, power, balance, breathing, and mental focus. Over 95% of all athletes concentrate again on speed and power from the above list. They think that if they had speed, they have speed and being powerful with the right amount of repetitions and practice, this will enable them to achieve, the very best level. Well, if you're doing that like millions of other athletes, this is why you're not achieving the very best level in your sport. I will show you why this doesn't work and explain all the other factors in the process of becoming a champion in any sport. The above 9 secrets will enable you to have a perfect blueprint or recipe in your sport. For example, if you wanted to build your dream house, you would probably seek out the help of a good architect. They will enable you to make your vision into a blueprint. Once you have this blueprint, you just have to give it to a general contractor for him to build your dream home. What if you tried to build your house, your dream house, without a blueprint? Well, you would be in a position of hoping that your home would be built properly and according to your vision. The above example is the same mentality that athletes adopt, in which they hope by using only certain tools and information they will be able to achieve their very best performance level. Remember, hope isn't a place where you want to be or experience. The same thing for a recipe. If you follow a recipe to bake a cake, for example, then it wouldn't matter if you bake 1 or 1,000, because the end results will be the same if you followed the recipe and used the proper ingredients. Athletes use some ingredients and information in their recipe for peak performance, but they don't have access to the proper sequence, ingredients, and information. And this is why they can't replicate the same performance on a consistent level.